If you put a frog in a hot pot of water, boiling water, it's gonna jump right out. But if you put it in some cold water, then slowly heat it up, the next thing it's gonna do is fall over and die once it gets to a boiling point. Why? Because frogs are not meant to be in boiling pots of water. And it got me thinking today that there's a lot of guys who are in this position right now who refuse to improve, who refuse to do something different, who refuse to accept the world that we're living in right now for what it is. Now, that's not to say that these guys are bad guys, but it's come to my realization just based off of conversation that guys don't want to adjust even though the world is telling us this is how it is. And I'll give you a prime example for that. I was talking to my friend at work, and one thing that they were saying was that, man, they're tired of not making enough money. They got kids that they gotta feed, and it was the white man holding them down. The white man holding them down. And I looked at this dude like, bro, we're in 2025. Yeah, we may be in the South. Yeah, I'm in Arkansas, but like, I don't think white people wake up every single day and are worried about black people and are like, let me figure out a different way to hold these black people down today. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. But yet I see guys, multiple guys, who are making excuses for their actions, who don't want to improve, who don't want to do something different, but yet they keep telling me I get all the hoes and all this stuff. And now, guys who have this type of conversation, I refuse to give them any energy, right? And I said friend just because, I don't want to call him an acquaintance. What else can I refer to him as? But this is a guy that I see infrequently. I see him maybe once a year, twice a year, maybe if I'm lucky. But he just happened to be in town, so of course I linked up with him and I said, what's going on? And he just kept on telling me, man, I just need to do something different. He's a teacher. He's on the road. He's traveling. He's trying to start a business. He has a wife. He has kids. So he has responsibilities he has to do. But yeah, he's complaining about the white man holding him down. Like, bro, no one, I'm telling you, no one is holding anyone back from doing anything. If you want to do what you want to do, then do it. But you can't just stay stagnant, which brings me to my subject for today. You can't do the same thing for forever. And that includes your diet. Health is wealth. Health is the most important thing, right? And so this guy, he's bigger, you know what I mean? And I keep encouraging him to lose some weight. And he does. He loses 15 pounds here, 20 pounds there. But then a week later, he gains it right back. Then a month later, he runs into some problems and he can't walk or he can't work out like he used to. His body's messed up from playing football or whatever. I get all that. But does that stop you from catering your diet to your needs? No, it doesn't. Does that stop you from doing what you need to do on a daily basis? Okay, so if your arm is not working, what's wrong with your legs? If your legs are not working, what's wrong with your arms? Like, problem solving is key. And I do think a lot of guys need to understand that in order to advance in life, you're going to have to solve issues, not only in your own life, but in other people's lives as well. You have to provide value, right? Which is the reason why the title of the video is You Can't Do the Same Thing for Forever, and why I gave you that example of the frog in a boiling pot of water. The economy that we're in right now demands that you cannot just do a simple job anymore. The minimum wage, $7.25, has not increased for I don't know how long. Yet people still are working at these Starbucks. People still are working at McDonald's. People still working at Jiffy Lube, expecting to support a family like their father did or their grandfather did off of one income. No, you need multiple pieces of income. You need multiple networks and connections. You need multiple conferences every single year to start improving little by little, piece by piece. And a lot of you guys, you don't want to do that. Why? Because it's going to cost money. And I don't understand this hang up with guys spending money on what they want to do. I was talking to this young man today, and he's in IT, and he was encouraging me, man, you need to get into IT. Now, this is before I even told him I'm in Udemy, I'm studying CompTIA Plus. This is before I told him any of that stuff. And I just looked at him, I said, man, you on the right path. He's ex-military or whatever the case may be. And so, part of his motivation for doing that was, well, he wants a girl, he wants a family, he wants to, take care of his responsibilities, and I commend him for that. But what he was doing originally, which was life insurance, wasn't getting him through the door. So I said, well, what encouraged you to change? He was like, man, I just had to make a decision. I was dishing out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 every single week for some leads. What? Now I understand life insurance, that's just the game. That's what you're gonna have to play. But $1,000 a week for some leads that you might not even close. Sales may come in, sales may not come in. Like, that's crazy to me. To think about that this guy made that decision, snap decision, right? That's just commendable in and of itself, because most people can't do that. Most people are comfortable. Most people can't even switch up their routine to better their health, as I spoke about earlier. So it's one of those things to where it makes you think like, okay, if this guy has finally got it, what's wrong with the other people who are talking to me and trying to get sympathy from me because of their situation? Like, when I was homeless, guys, nobody cared. Nobody cared. There were a select 1 or 2 people who were like, hey, you can come stay with me. Hey, you can do this. Hey, you can do that. But for the most part, I didn't want anybody to know, because if you're in a bad situation, right, that makes people obligated to try to take care of you, especially if they know you. I don't want to have that. I don't want to owe people any favors. So I said, hey, you know what? Let me get my stuff together. Let me do this myself. I had to look at the reality of the world. I had to, because if I wasn't going to look at the reality, I was going to fail miserably. And this is what I'm saying, you guys. If you do not adjust to the environment that we're in and get a marketable skill, get a trade, do something different, you're going to fail. Electricians are needed. Plumbers are needed. Salesmen are needed. Network administrators are needed in IT. Like, if you look at the top 5 paying jobs every single year, year over year, tech is always in the top 5, then sales, and then finance. But tech dominates the top 3 spots. Tech dominates the top 3 spots. Let me tell you, if you are not aware of these things, you're doing something wrong. Your circle of friends is lacking. What you have going on and what you talk about every single day is lacking. So I'm not telling you this to get on your ass. Well, I kind of am. But I'm not telling you this to berate you or anything like that. I'm just saying that you may need to do something different. You may need to make that change, because if you don't, you're going to be priced out, not only of this world that we're living in, but of your own life, because UBI is coming. The robots are coming. AI is here. They got so much technology that they want to release. But guess what? Putting so many people out of work at one time, they're not going to do it. I talked about this as I posted that video, you're getting priced out. And I even mentioned this as well. And I mean, I still stand firm to what I'm saying to you guys. And this is why on this channel, we talk about things like improving. We talk about things like dress. We talk about things like speech. We talk about things like getting certifications like I'm doing right now. We talk about these things because at the end of the day, you need to be able to look at somebody in the eye and tell them, look, I'm overqualified for this job. I am qualified for this job. I can, and I have the background to do this job extremely well and efficient. You can't tell me no. You need me. But at the same time, that's not the end goal. Everyone should have their end goal in mind. Mine is freedom. I talked about this yesterday. Mine is freedom. I want to be able to travel anywhere I want to go without consequences, without looking at my bank account and be like, okay, where's my next paycheck coming? I don't have enough money for my bills. I don't have enough money for my plane travel. I don't have enough money for my girl that I'm going to see. That's played out, bro. What? That's not how men are supposed to move. That's not how men are supposed to move. You got a girl, you know you're gonna have to break off some bread to her. You got a situation you need to take care of, you know you need to handle it. Your credit is shot. You can't get no credit card. Well, whose fault is that? I'm willing to take responsibility for my actions and keep my head down in the dirt until I'm where I need to be. Are you guys? I'm not sacrificing sleep. I'm not sacrificing things just for no reason. Everything has a reason. Everything has a season. And right now, this season is grind season. It's grind season. It's boss up time. Yeah. Yeah, we bossing up in 2025, man. We gonna make some more money in 2025. We gonna get certifications in 2025. That's the type of energy I need to be on. That's the type of energy I'm looking for you. That's what I need. All right, guys, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I love you. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna highlight you tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Am I off? Am I spitting facts? I'll be interested to hear. Until next time, peace.